Welcome to Sandpoint Watersports pontoon boat checkout. All of our pontoon boats are Bennington models, and we have various lengths and options throughout the fleet. So currently I'm standing on board our 20-foot Bennington. All of our Benningtons are equipped with swim ladders, as well as bimini tops. The one unique item about our 20-foot Bennington is it does not have a tow bar. So it's simply a lake cruiser, no towable sports, but all of the rest of our Bennington models have tow bars. If you're renting our black Bennington in our fleet, it is equipped with two captain's chairs in the rear that swivel for viewing somebody that you're towing with our tow bar, or for fishing. And our black Bennington also has a live well. To continue our pontoon boat checkout, we are standing on one of our 22-foot Benningtons. And just like all of our boats, you should not be at the front outside the boat if the boat is under motion. So before you leave, we will make sure that all the gates are closed for you. And if you are under power, you need to be inside of the gate. Same thing here at the side of the boat, and then also here at the rear. Continuing at the rear of the boat here, you have your tow bar, which is good for inflatables. The swim ladder on all of our Benningtons is attached with a single button. Just unbutton the strap here, cast the ladder into the water. When you're done and coming back, please lift the swim ladder up and button it again, and you are good to go. When somebody is getting ready to leave the boat, whether it's exiting the boat at a dock, exiting the boat, getting ready to get on an inflatable, exiting for swimming, like all of our boats, the boat needs to be in neutral and off. We don't want the boat idling. We want it just off, and that is for everybody's safety on board. Once everybody's done outside of the boat and everybody's back in, you need to do a head count and confirm that everybody's inside of the boat before starting it back up and continuing onwards. Sandpoint Watersports will provide you with two bumper buoys on board our pontoon boats. Pontoon boats are unique because they come ready with a clip. So when you are ready to use the bumper buoys, you will clip them to the outside of the boat. Okay, go. To use the bumper buoy, simply take the clip, slide it over the outside rail, and push it all the way down. And that will keep it attached. It is important that this only be on the top rail. It does not go on the second, the third. It doesn't go down here. It goes right on top, just like that. When you're getting ready to leave the dock, a Sandpoint Watersports employee will make sure that these are stowed inside, because we want you to bring these back. Between the clip, the rope, the bumper, and our time, these each cost $100, and we don't want you to lose them because you will get charged for them if you do not bring them back. On all of our pontoon boats, the fuel is located on the outside of the boat, and depending on the boat, it may be on the captain's side or opposite the captain. You just simply unscrew the cap, and it is safety chained, and you'll put the hose in, fuel it up until it indicates fuel, and then tuck the safety chain back in and screw it back on, and just like majority of your cars, it will click. Starting from the outside of the boat will be equipped with two ropes, and then the two other ropes will be stowed. We'll point those out when you're here, and then the bumper buoys will get stowed inside, and then you'll be ready to go. Pontoon boats are unique from ski boats because they have this bimini top. When you rent from us here at Sandpoint Watersports, we must keep this bimini top up all day long. So the vessel will come to you with the bimini top up, and we require that the bimini top stay up all day. So if you'd like sun, you can sit in the front, and if you'd like shade, you can sit in the back. It is quite a bit of work to take it up and down, and if you don't lock it correctly when you're done, you will cause damage as you drive across the lake. It will take full speed across the lake and all of the wind, no problem. At Sandpoint Watersports, all of our pontoon boats have this nifty storage that's underneath the captain's position, and it's what holds your required safety gear, which includes a flag, which is for signaling if you have a swimmer in the water or somebody that's on an inflatable, and Somebody opposite the driver needs to hold this out as the swimmer's in the water, and then when you're back under power, you stow the flag. Please don't lose this. You will also be provided with an air pump, which has a cigarette charger for inflating your towables. You will have a basic first aid kit, an oar, just in case, and a Class 4 throwable. We are now at the rear of our pontoon boats, and although all of our pontoon boats have slightly different seating arrangements, at the rear of the boat, underneath all of these seats, will be your Coast Guard required life jackets. So they are available for the max capacity of the boat, whether it's 10 or 11. They go over your neck. The strap will come around, and you will buckle it right here. Along with the Coast Guard approved life jackets that are on board all of our rentals, which will have the max capacity of your boat. We also have fitted life jackets available at our office from infant through 4X. So if you have very small children, or if you have somebody that doesn't necessarily want to wear the over-the-neck life jacket, we have fitted life vests that are available at no charge with your rental. Children under the age of 14 are required by Idaho state law to wear a life jacket at all times. Even when the boat is not under power, they must be wearing a Coast Guard approved life jacket. Along with your safety gear, all of our pontoon boats will have a fire extinguisher that is mounted at the feet of the captain. When tying up a boat, we just prefer a couple half hitches, so pull it tight. The loop is going to go underneath. You're going to twist it, loop goes underneath. Twist it, loop goes underneath. And then any motion away from the dock will tighten all of those knots to the cleat. When getting ready to leave the dock, and we've gone over the safety briefing, and the ropes are stowed and the bumper buoys are inside, you need to be at no wake when leaving the marina, which means that there's no wave coming behind the boat, which on all of our boats is just out of neutral. All of our boats are equipped with a kill switch, which our insurance requires you to wear, and it needs to be clipped either onto your belt loop or to a life preserver before you even attempt to start the boat. The kill cord is right below the key switch, and this lobster claw looking device needs to be installed underneath the switch, and then this is what gets clipped either to your belt loop or to a life jacket. With the kill cord installed, we're ready to start the boat. On all boats, if the boat is not in neutral, the boat will not start. Same thing if the boat happens to be in reverse, it will not start. On pontoon boats, it has a neutral or a dead spot that is right in the center of the column. So with the boat in neutral, the boat will fire right up. When you are ready to leave the dock, you're simply going to grab the throttle here and you're going to clunk it forward to go forward. There's neutral. You're going to clunk it back to go back. There's neutral again. More in either direction makes the boat go faster in that direction. Welcome to 1 year and 50 pounds later. We're at a new dock. All of our boats will be parked in these slips, and we will help get you arranged on the outside of the dock so that you can then leave. If you're on the far side of Long Bridge, you're going to want to go to Sand Creek. And if you're on this side of Long Bridge, you're going to want to go to Dover. If you're going to get fuel at Dover, you'll be on this side of Long Bridge, and Dover is that way. Welcome to the fuel stop at Dover Bay. There is one entrance and exit out of the marina, and it is identifiable by the blue covers, the red and white seaplane, which is very important to note here in a little bit, and the high power lines that are coming in. I mentioned the seaplane because that is very important. He uses this as his base of operations. If you see him anywhere near this marina, you need to stay away. He does not have brakes. He has very little control on the water, and he's swinging a very big propeller. He needs to use this one entrance and or exit to get in or out, and he has the right of way over everybody else on the lake, including sailboats. We are now going to be entering the marina at no wake again, because you can read the sign. It says slow, no wake. As you come into the center of the marina, which is the only entrance and exit, the fuel dock is going to be right in front of you. It is important when you're coming to fuel up the boat that you have saved enough time so that you don't feel rushed. And everything that we do inside of the marina must be at no wake and just barely out of neutral. You should not hear any engine RPMs ever. As we're coming into the marina and I see the two fuel pumps, they're the blue topped fuel pumps here, I'm already looking for boating traffic. Right now it is empty. You can use either side of the fuel pump. For most people, they're going to want to use the fuel pumps that are located to the right of the dock. Again, you'll hear me coming in and out of neutral, and you need to be doing this slowly. Dover is accessible 24 hours a day with a card reader. You will simply swipe your card. We would like you to use the non-ethanol or the 92. It is very important that when you think you're done fueling the boat, that you verify with the fuel gauge that you are all the way full, because these fuel pumps will shut off at the first click and you need about 3 to 5 more gallons. So pump it slow and make sure that before you leave, you identify on the fuel gauge that you are clear full. This is the view leaving Dover. The seaplane is in front of us and it's parked. I'm keeping an eye out for this boating traffic in front of us. There's one entrance and exit, and the fuel docks are behind us. We are entering the area for the Sand Creek Marina. You'll notice City Beach. And we are headed underneath that bridge. It is important as we're entering this area to watch for boating traffic, as well as kayakers, paddleboarders, anybody else in the water. City Beach is pretty busy, and it does have 2 public access boat ramps, so we just need to be mindful of traffic of all sorts of varieties. As we're rounding the corner to enter Sand Creek, again, we're watching for boating traffic. Most importantly, any boats that are headed towards us have right-of-way because they are leaving the marina. So if I see a boat, I'm going to immediately put it into neutral and make sure, even if I need to motion, that they can come this way. And if I need to click it in reverse, I can. Before I get up here, you need to make sure that you can commit and go inside of here. As we get closer, you'll notice there's 2 very obvious concrete pillars that you can go in between. And then there is room for 2 boats to pass alongside each other, but it is pretty tight. I have traffic coming towards me, so I'm already going to swing the boat this way quite drastically, just so they know which way I'm going. Come past these slips, the fuel dock is going to be right in front of that brown condominium. As I come around this corner, I have sight of the fuel house, and I'm going to click it into neutral, and I'm going to see, is there boating traffic that's about to leave? Is there anything that's going to get in my way of getting over there? Because if you need to wait to get fuel, regardless of what marina you're at, it's better to do it out here because you have options to turn. You don't want to get in there and realize that, oh, there's 6 boats in there. So there's 2 fuel pumps. There's one on the end, and there's one just inside. Both are accessible and usable. And again, when you're coming in to any marina to get fuel or to dock, everything is done just out of neutral. No panicking, no full throttle, just out of neutral. And you'll notice that you can use the fuel pump from the other side of the dock as well. So this marina has a central card lock system. So we'll swipe our card and then select what pump we're at, which in this case is going to be pump 2. As you're fueling up the boat, fuel it up slowly. This fuel pump is clicked a few times, so I'm pretty sure it's full. But in order to verify that it's full, you're going to turn the key to the accessory position and double check the gauge. First click is the accessory position, and then the gauge is on the right-hand side. And it'll blip, and then it should show full, which is all those black bars filled all the way up to the top. As I'm filling up this boat, I'm pumping slower and slower, and it keeps clicking off as if it's full, but it is still not indicating full. So again, make sure the boat is all the way full. We're now leaving the Sand Creek Marina. So again, we're looking for traffic that's coming inside the marina now. You'll notice that as we're getting further and further away from Sand Creek Marina, we're going to watch out for these ducks. And you'll notice that even that boat far away is at no wake. So along with no wake inside of the marina here on Lake Pend Oreille, you need to be at no wake 200 foot from shore at all times, or the furthest rigid structure, which is normally a dock. So here at Dover Bay, as you're exiting and going about your rental, you need to wait. We're not just going to power up right now. We're going to wait until we're pretty much at the middle of the channel, which is 200 feet from the dock. Along with no wake 200 foot from shore or docks, that also applies to all of the bridges here at Lake Pend Oreille. All of the bridges are fully passable with the bimini top up, regardless of the level of the lake, so you don't need to worry about that. But you need to be at no wake 200 foot before the bridge, as well as underneath it. You need to be at no wake, keeping control of the boat. And then 200 foot beyond the bridge, you can start to power back up. So now we are 200 foot away from shore and we are ready to power up. Part of boating safety is you need to have one hand on the throttle at all times and one hand on the steering wheel. None of our boats have a throttle lock, so when you're powered up and you let go, it starts to come back, which is part of boating safety. So we're going to smoothly power up. The bow of the boat will raise a little bit, and then it'll settle back down as we get to full speed here. So this is the view as you're coming back to Dover Bay to return the vessel. Here again, we're going to use the one entrance and exit that's right in the middle of the marina. And you can see the posted no wake zone. So we're going to slow down. And from here, we're going to keep an eye out for boats leaving and entering as well. When you return the vessel, whether it's a pontoon boat or a ski boat, anything that you've rented from Sandpoint Watersports, you're going to want to come to the fuel dock, which is right in the center of the marina. And the fuel dock will be noted by the pilings that are driven into the dock, as well as the blue fuel pumps. When renting a pontoon boat or any other vessel from Sandpoint Watersports, it is important to remember that you should not go to shore for any reason unless you are going to a dock, for two reasons. The most important reason is that Lake Pend Oreille is all privately owned on the shoreline. So even if you see a beach, it is owned by somebody, and you should not go to shore unless you're going to a dock. The other reason that you should not go to shore when renting a pontoon boat or any other boat from Sandpoint Watersports is that when you're leaving the shoreline is the most likelihood of damaging the prop. So if you don't give a big enough shove off the bow, or if you're in too shallow of water, you'll cause damage to the prop. It's important when you're renting from Sandpoint Watersports to identify the boat driver that will be the captain for the day. We do allow multiple drivers to be on the same rental as long as they have boating experience. All drivers need to listen to this safety briefing online and be available on the day of the rental. If you don't have the boat driver available on that day, please don't be swapping drivers. All of our pontoon boats have a posted capacity that is on the placard of the boat, as well as when you reserve the boat. It's important to never exceed that capacity, regardless of age or size.